Every week, Joe Parsons in Virginia finds interesting stories in his state that continues to enjoy a vibrant medical market while working on reviving the adult use movement. Here's Joe in his Virginia report for the week.
I'm Joe Parsons from the Virginia Cannabis Connection, and this is the Virginia Cannabis Report on Cannabis Coast to Coast News. Since May of 2016, Minorities for Medical Marijuana has been one of the nation's largest nonprofit organizations devoted to social equity in the cannabis industry. They operate in over 27 states, including the United Kingdom and Canada. So today I was able to get caught up with the Virginia director, Lonnie Hayes, to find out what's going on in our neck of the woods.
Our mission is to bring about social equity of cannabis in the states throughout America, help small business owners gain contracts with dispensaries and be able to monetize and improve their quality of life and improve the quality of life of people who will benefit from cannabis. We also educate people on the pros and cons of cannabis, such as consumption methods. Smoke inhalation may not be the best for the lungs, so other options, tinctures and edibles. And just understanding the science of how it helps people with anxiety, PTSD, you name it. So our mission is to continue with the politics and being involved. We have a national policy cannabis writer, part of the team. So that's been huge. His name is Eric Foster. And we're working with the legislators and lobbyists in the state of Virginia. I myself have been working with them. So we are looking at the bills and what's inside of it. This is a first. I just connected with M4MM, and over the past about 5 years, I've been working with the lobbyists. So it's our first time connecting in the past 2 months. I just started with M4MM about 2 months ago. So working on getting everybody connected and on the same page. We haven't had a chance to sit down and talk yet. Right now in the state of Virginia, the previous bill that we worked on getting passed, it did pass the House and Senate, but it had gotten shot down. We had verbiage in there for 60% of the tax revenue from cannabis to go back to underserved communities. But again, it didn't pass. An incubation period and helping small business owners get some leeway in the market before medical facilities do. And they're looking at trying to get started with adult use sales before the little guy does. But we're working on fighting that. So those are some of the provisions that are in the bill. I'm looking at having it again this coming go around for the General Assembly. It may not make it again, it might get shut down, but we're going to continue to try. Might have to wait until the next governor election, which will be in 2025. It's not fair, it's not right that there are people still incarcerated while we have these companies making all of this money. It depends on who is in office on the state level. Look at Maryland. I forget their governor's name, but as soon as he was able to, he had expunged all of the misdemeanors of marijuana.
Thousands of them, man. I just think it's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Working on going the extra mile, being a little bit bold, having more voters, people being involved. I recently have been going door to door and bringing awareness to what's going on in the community. I'll be going again this Saturday. It's my first year going door to door canvassing and being involved in the state politics. I recently went out to Mount Zion Baptist Church in Fredericksburg. It's behind Bragg Hill community. And we had 2 of our delegates there. It was Delegate Joshua Cole and Delegate Candy, forget her last name. And they spoke on some awesome issues that need to be addressed. And depending on who we have in office, things might go backwards for a lot of groups of people. Yup. We're going to do the best we can to connect with any of the senators or legislators and work on composing a bill, working with the national policy director who's been able to get things moving forward. And he's been tied up a bit with the presidential election, but he's an awesome guy.
A lot of people say that it's not red versus blue, but actually, it really is.
Yeah, so many great things have happened since then.
Oh, yes,
I
sir.
myself have enrolled in using the Affordable Healthcare Act, and when I didn't have a job, it benefited me. And I know there's other people that it benefited.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, in addition to that, cannabis was legal up until like the 1920s, and they made it illegal. And there's so many uses for it, especially well with hemp. Right now, I believe it's Volvo who they are working on introducing leather made by hemp. So that's great in reducing the amount of animals being killed or food just for leather. And hempcrete is also hempcrete. It can make hempcrete, which would be used for building houses and roads too. So they were aware of the resources, and of course, it would take away from the main resource, then, which would cotton that they would use to make clothes and other wood materials from all of the deforestation that they use. So it was an industrial reason for that, in addition with the racism and trying to demonize a culture.
I
It's
agree.
crazy. Crazy.
I
The
agree with
truth
you,
about
sir.
that.
100%. Now, what do you think about former President Trump suddenly coming out saying that he now wants it legalized, or at least legalized in Florida? Do you think that that is political pandering, or do you think that he's actually serious about that?
I don't know. I take what most people say with a grain of salt, and considering his track record, uh, there's no salt to take with his words with. Um, I think it's just try to get people to fall for the okey doke and possibly try to get them voted in. But in Florida, they reversed the Roe versus Wade,
Yes, they did.
uh, and that's not progression.
I feel that it's nothing more than just pandering to go and get votes, but I wouldn't really take much out of
I
it.
know that I've connected with a lot of people. There is a event in Richmond that's coming up called Smokehouse Barbecue, being held by a grower, a Madman grower. There's more going on in the state of Virginia. I just don't have it in the top of my
Oh,
head
yeah,
right
I heard.
now. But I will forward you any events that are coming up,
It would be
helping
great.
out, yeah, help out other people. I myself don't have any events coming up, but we're working on it. My friends and I have also put together a nonprofit called the Legacy Outreach here in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm looking to help people out in the community through education and access to resources. And yeah, no events coming up. I do want to say that it's going to be important who is in office, who's our next president,
Yes, it is.
that will help persuade things when it comes time to voting the governor. And I've been looking at the candidates. I'm still terrible with names, but the one that comes to mind is Spanberger. And when I sat down at the delegate community conversations, one of the things they pointed out was the statistics. In 2020, there are 5 million registered voters, and of those 5 million, only 2 million voted. So we're working on, again, more voter involvement to get the right people in office, and bringing awareness to the issues that's going on, the bills that are in place, because a lot of people are not involved, and they should be because it directly affects them. There are things that are coming down the pipeline that's going to make it tougher for the little guy to run a business or even find housing.
You are so right. Do you feel that Virginia is a monopoly based when it comes to the medical system?
Right now, yes and no. Yes, because they have the big guys coming in. No, because there's multiple big guys coming in, right? So it's not on one business entity. So we're working on fighting that so that way the little guy can get a chance. There was verbiage in the last bill for an incubation period for the medical facilities to work with the smaller guy, so that way they would get the education and experience, have some of the resources to run a successful business. Yeah, because if the medical facilities start first, then that makes it a bit more of a challenge for the smaller guys, and that's where the social equity comes in, to be able to get out there, say, socialize, and have a even the playing field for both the little guy and the big guy.
We just keep on writing and we keep on fighting.
Yeah, that's it. We have to continue on. Cool story that Delegate Joshua Cole had mentioned was when he initially was going up for position. I'm not sure which area it was, but it was predominantly white and Republican, and it was the first time that a black Democrat was running for this position, and everybody was telling him he would lose. So the first time around, he lost by like 73 votes, and he continued to push on and just reaching more people, especially people of color. For some reason, we tend to not vote for whatever reason, and reaching out to those people. So the next time around, he won, and he won by 1,500 votes.
Wow.
A lot of the minorities, whether especially black, but there's all walks of life that are living in underserved communities that would benefit from it and lack the knowledge of what's going on. For some reason, they don't stay abreast, and they should, because these things matter. They don't want to vote or be abreast, but yet their landlord will stay on top of what's going on in politics because, of course, he wants to be able to make more money and raise their rent. Sometimes some of the people that I spoke with, once I mention that, then it'll click to them like, wow, because that directly affects them. For the people that it at times doesn't directly affect, they don't make a move unless somehow they have some kind of emotions or some ties to what's going on with a particular bill. So being able to talk to them and reach them on a level that will get them to take action. But on the back end of what we spoke about earlier, is there space for the small guy, I believe you said, to get started, or the monopolizing of it? And that's not monopolizing it, but it makes it harder for the smaller guy, the little guy, to get started, the mom and pop shops. So something to think about. And then with that too, with the rescheduling, what that at least does for the small guy, the little guys, a lot of the facilities, medical facilities, or the adult use sales that is legal in those states, they are not able, I forget what exactly the title was called, but they're not able to write off expenses like normal businesses. If they spend money on even writing off some of the packages or expenses, they can't write off anything that's cannabis related. So like a traditional business, and that's a double whammy, and that has hurt a lot of businesses where adult use is legal. So something for the people to think about that want to get started and what we're fighting for, so that way we can help y'all get contracts. Oh, and speaking of that, BCB CEO Mastermind, they have helped get me started and others alike getting contracts with dispensaries. They've helped one gentleman of the Best Dirty Lemonade, Amari, get a contract with some dispensaries. There's also the shout out Matha of Buttercake out in Maryland. She's doing great with her products. So BCB is looking to reach out to people to help the small guy get some contracts and run a great business. While I'm on the topics of shout outs, I don't want to hold you too long. I had to pull up some of them. The primary leadership groups here in Virginia that's working on fighting for these rights is Cannabis Equity Coalition of Virginia, the Richmond Crusade for Voters, and the Virginia Minority Cannabis Coalition.
I'm going to go and reach out to them all, man. Thank you so much because, dude, we need to all work as a team. Like I was saying, a lot of people say it's not red versus blue, but dude, if, we want green, red and blue need to work as a team, right?
Yeah, it's about the better candidate, in my opinion. It ain't red or blue. It's just, understanding the people, with people, and helping people.
We want it to be legalized. We don't want it to be decriminalized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. We want to be legalized because even decriminalized, that, it's just a ticket if you're found with less than an ounce in Virginia, but it still brings about criminal charges for a plant that has more benefits, and safer than alcohol. Studies have shown. Working together, definitely that's something that we need. I love it. That is what has helped me in life, is working together with people like-minded. Certain areas, some people are closed-minded, a little more conservative. That is a barrier that we're willing to take. Yes, definitely. I'm gonna reach out. There's some things in the works coming up for 2025. We're sitting down, we're working on planning. I know we're gonna have some town hall meetings, work on bringing awareness throughout Virginia. I appreciate your help, Joe.
Thank you. And you have an absolutely amazing day. And my own little saying and slogan I say every time, and as always, Lonnie, stay lifted, all right?
That I will. I look forward to being on here again with you.
All right, thanks a lot.
I think I messed up. Did you know there's a place that covers all the cannabis news you need? Welcome to Pro Cannabis Media, your go-to for all things cannabis. PCM is the CNBC of weed, bringing you the latest news and talk shows with a twist. We've got 16 state correspondents and multimedia journalists from around the US and Canada.
Hey everybody, it's Brandon Jones with Big Green Distribution with the Missouri Cannabis Report.
I'm Karen Black from Greenfinger Consulting with the Arizona Cannabis Report.
I'm Amy Carter from Michigan Weedsters.
Andrew Behringer here reporting from Washington, D.C.
Debbie Fazy with the Canadian Toke of the Week.
It all started back in 2018 when founder Jimmy Young kicked off the In the Weeds podcast. His mission? Documenting the fight to end cannabis prohibition. Fast forward to today and we've got Cannabis Coast to Coast with Elena Pinto, delivering the nation's only TV-style cannabis news show.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Cannabis Coast to Coast News, Pro Cannabis Media's weekly roundup of the news from the industry. I'm Elena Pinto.
As of August 2024, PCM has racked up over 1.2 million views and 14.5 million impressions on our YouTube channel. With 15,000 subscribers and growing, our reach is spreading like wildfire. PCM's website, YouTube, Rumble, Discord, Roku, Twitch, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and even our very own PCM TV app. Get your cannabis news fix with Pro Cannabis Media. We're here to keep you informed and entertained. Stay tuned and stay lifted.